Hi there, my friends. This is Bill McDonald, the reading and writing doctor. Today, I'm in Freeport, Texas, getting ready to do a training with some, I believe it's third and fourth or fourth and fifth grade teachers on the reading and writing process. I'm a little bit relieved because I went from 150 teachers in one day last year to eight teachers last week to eight teachers at one campus. Today's meaningful modeling and mentoring methods in 10 minutes or less is on something that I call PKL. When you normally think of PKL, you think pre-K level, but what it stands for is penmanship, keyboarding, and letters. If your students are at the pre-K level as third through 10th graders, when it comes to PKL, penmanship, whether it's cursive or print, keyboarding, typing into a computer, and just seemingly functioning at the letter level, it's possible that they're going to get some zeros on three areas. So let me set my timer for the 9 minutes to make sure I stay within my time frame and show you what the Texas teacher training and campus training teachers. This is page one for those of you who have the digital or the hard copy. I call it super simple strategies and skills for penmanship, keyboarding, letters, PKL, and rewarding superstar students using the S monkeys. And if you uh, have gone to one of my Texas training tours or a campus training, all of you have been given little bags of S monkeys that stand for lots of cool things. Um, as you can see, lots of the words here start with an S. The letter S and superhero, we're going to focus mainly on keyboarding for this lesson. There's three reasons your students can get zeros on three different areas of open-ended responses. Okay. And if I look at your paper as a person, because the short answer and the extended essays will for sure be read by a human being to determine if they are illegible, I, indecipherable, I, and or incoherent, I. If any or all of those things happen with your response because of your struggling with keyboarding and your inability to type letters, you are going to get a zero. Now, let me show you real quickly on my advanced folder the three areas of reading and writing that are open-ended. Now, most of the questions are still going to be regular multiple choice, probably anywhere between 60 to 70% for sure will be regular multiple choice. And on PC online tests, it'll always be A, B, C, D. Okay. But it's here, if they give you a constructed response where your students have to type a word, a number, a phrase, or a sentence, and they're not functioning at the word, phrase, or sentence level, they're probably going to struggle to get that open-ended point. The second area is the short answer, where you have answer, and I use the two colors of red and yellow. What is my answer in a complete sentence to the question about the topic you gave me? And 2A, where is the answer, the location of the evidence? And 2B, or not 2B, what is the evidence, either with or without quotations? Well, since those are asking your students to write in complete sentences, if they cannot do that, then even though the answer might be there, the evidence might be present. If the reader says, I'm sorry, comma, but whatever I'm reading is illegible, indecipherable, or incoherent, then your students are probably not going to earn any points on that. The last part is when your students are writing the entire essay that's worth 5 points from two different readers, where they have to write an entire introduction based on a prompt or a topic that has a central controlling idea, thesis, claim, or opinion, depending on which purpose you're writing. They have to be organized, where you give uh, the locations of your evidence, why you're choosing the idea, uh, what stanzas, scenes, sentences, sections, paragraphs, what is the evidence, either with or without quotations, and then as part of the body, as we explained in lesson 1, this being lesson 2, is how do you plan on explaining your examples that you decide to use of evidence? And as we mentioned last time, if your evidence is your line, let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 examples of evidence, then reading is inferring, reading between the lines. Writing writing is explaining for the purpose of trying to get a 3 on development, is writing between the lines, that you say, however many examples of evidence that you throw at me, I have to be able to write sentences that explain and get pretty specific using what I call the who, what, when, where, why, which, and how. And again, they have to write a conclusion. So all of those things are real important to make sure your kids understand. So I wanted to just talk about a couple of simple things that you can teach your kids. Step 1, how do I write a capital letter using some S's? Well, what you see here is all capital letters, and when you type those letters, they're not going to come out as capital, they'll come out as lowercase. So yellow is going to mean slow. So slow, you push the shift button, select the letter that you want capitalized to begin a sentence, and it's going to change the size of the letter and the shape of the letter so that it looks like all of these letters here. They just have to select the correct one. Okay, punctuation. As you see, I went ahead and circled all of the punctuation marks that your students have. If a sentence is like a street, then yellow signs are going to slow the street slash sentence down. Those would be called commas, colons, semicolons, apostrophes, and quotations. The reds are the stop signs at the end of the street, called periods, enter, question mark, shift, select, enter, and exclamation, exclamation, shift, select, enter. And think of a question mark as somebody's ear where they're asking something and they're waiting for a response. And what I like about the question mark and the exclamation is they're at the top, and you've got to decide, The only reason you're going to move from a statement, a command, to a question mark is if it sounds like somebody's asking for something, waiting for a response, or if somebody is emotionally connected to whatever it is that's being written. Okay. Another thing that I want to talk about in this short video is the space bar. After each letter, you're going to put 0 spaces. After each word, put 1 space. And after each sentence, push the space bar twice. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about, because I have 1 minute left, let's use the punctuation fat guide to teach the concept. There's my 1 minute warning. Push my stop button. If I were to use an imaginary ball, because all of those circles that I made look like balls that I could bounce on the floor, toss up in the air, or bounce on the table. The floor uh, punctuation marks are periods, exclamations, sorry, question marks, and exclamation. The air are the apostrophes, the quotation, the quotation marks, and also what's known sometimes as contractions. The tables, slowing down, are the commas, the colons for the secondary, a lot of the secondary, and the semicolons. And we'll get more into detail, but if your kids don't even know where those are at, they're going to struggle with making a sentence. So that concludes, because I promised that I would keep the video to 10 minutes or less, the lesson 2 of penmanship, keyboarding, and letters, how to keep from getting 0 points when it comes to text entry, short answer, and extended essay responses. They have to understand enough of your writing so that when your students are typing, they can go past the letter level and be able to write words, phrases, sentences, paragraphs, and eventually entire essays that make sense. God bless, take care, and have an awesome day.